Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome, welcome, welcome back to Morning Stir and Through the Bible with Yolanda Worldwide here on YouTube. For those of you who are joining in as a replay viewer, I am so incredibly blessed that you are here. Go ahead and leave your mark by giving me a hashtag replay. And then if you're brand new, let me know that as well. And be sure to click that subscribe button so that you don't miss anything in the future. Again, I am so glad you are here. Now, for those of you who are joining in live, I call you my people, my people, my people. Number one, go ahead and greet me in whatever way you do in your part of the world. Number two, let me know where in the world you're joining in from. Number three, please help me by clicking the little thumbs up on the screen. Number four, please help me share this broadcast far and wide. And number five, if you are, go ahead and let me know in the chat. I'm stirred up. I'm stirred up. And if you like me, I'm stirred all the way up all the time. All right, so we're going to jump in and pray in the spirit for a few moments. I will share anything the Lord is laying on my heart for today, and then we will read the word of God. We are in the book of Isaiah. Let's begin to pray. Rakatamandi ikarakata. Rekete de bakaya, roko tamandi i karakata, roko de bakoreke de bata, randi i karakata, rekete de bakorekete, randi i karakata, roko tamandi i karakataya, rekete i arabahaya, roko de bakaya rabakoreke de aya, randi i karakata, mandi i ka rakatayele bakoreke de bata, rakatamandi i karakataya, roko Telede bakoreke de bataya, randi ikarakataya la bakoreke, rekete iara bahaya, roko tamandi ikarakata, o koshete mande ki ikarakata, iele bakaya la bahaya, roko tamandi ikarakata. Yarabakarabataya, Rokotamandi Ikarakata, Yelebakoreke Bataya, Randi Ikarakata Mandi Ikarekete, Rokotamandi Ikarakata, Rekete Yelebakoreke Bataya, Randi Ikarakata Yalabakoreke de Bata, Randeki Ikarakata, Yelebakote de Batataya, Randi Ikarakata, Okoshete Nemande, Rekete Arabahaya, Rekete Alabaha, Rokotamandi Ikarakata, mi akarakata yalabata yele bakore kete aya randi ikarakata ye akote eki andi ikara roko tamandi ikarakata yele bakore kede bataya rakata yele bakore ke iakata ieke andi ayara bako iaya rakata mandi ikarakata yele bakore kede bata iakandi ikarakata yele bakore kede bataya mandi ikaya bataya roko tamande i karakata ye okoshete mande roko tamande i akaya bataya rekete yeleba koreke de bata yele magandi yarabako de ke de bataya rakata yeleba koreke de bata yandi i karakata yarabata rakatamandi i karakata yele de bakoreke de bata rakatamandi i karakata i akarakata yele bakore kete randi ikaraka tayarabata yerebakore kerebata yekeshete mandeki ikaratata Rakatamandi i karakataya, rokotamandi i karakataya, rokotiele de bakoreke de bata, rande ki i karakata, yele bako de kerebata, mandi i karakata, yele bakorekete, rande ki i karakata, yatamandi i karakataya, rekete mandi i karakataya, rakatamandi i karakataya, rekete yele bako de kerebata, yete mandi ikarakata yalabakarakata yelebakote kete mande makarakataya reketi ikorakata yatamandi ikarakataya rokoti yelebakote kerebata yelebakode kerebataya randi ikarakataya rokotamandi ikarakata yelebakote keya rande ki ikarakata yelebako kote kerebata, yandi ikarakata, yatama karakata, yeleba karakata, yande ikorekete, rakatamandi ikarakata. Reketiele bakote kede bata rakatamandi ikarakata yele bakarakata yandi ikarakata yele bako rekete rande ki ikarakata ye akarakata yele bakote kede bata mandi ikarakata yele bakote kede bata rakatamandi ikarakata yele bakote kede bataya rakatamandi ikarakataya rabakore kedebata okorakatamandi ikarakata rokotiele bakore kedebata rakatamandi ikarakata yele bakote kedebata rakatayala bakote keya rakatamandi ikarakata reketeyele bako reketeyaya randi ikotekeya rakatamandi ikarakata yele bakote kedebata rakatamandi ikarakata yele bakarakata ye temandi ikarakata ye keshandi ikarakata okoshata yele bakote kedebataya. Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 11 in the Voice version says this: I hope the eternal Lord, the eternal, the God of your ancestors, makes you 1,000 times more numerous and blesses you just as he said he would. The Lord is really dealing with me about the thousandfold return and the thousandfold increase in this 11th month of the year. As I was out walking this morning, it came to me, and I wasn't expecting to make an announcement. I need to get a flyer made. Hopefully, I can get a flyer made, but I'm going to be doing a special virtual service on next Tuesday night, which happens to be the 11th day of the 11th month. I promise you, God just gave that to me. I was thinking about it yesterday and this morning. I was like, I have to do it. I have to do it. I can't not do it. Oh, so next Tuesday, the 11th day of the 11th month, 11/11, we're going to be pressing into Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 11, and believing God for the breakthrough in that thousandfold increase. The Lord is getting ready to increase you 1,000 times according to the promises he made to our forefathers. I'm not going to say much more about that, but I would begin to meditate on Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 11 over the course of this next week, and just be prepared for the official announcement of that time together next week. I got to do it. It's not, there's not a plan in place or anything, but I am going to minister the word of the Lord on next week. And it will be on live. I'll put it on different platforms. I'll work with my team to make sure I can get it live streamed in different places. But we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And God's going to show up huge. Let's dive into the word. Isaiah, starting at the 35th chapter. The 35th chapter. Okay. In the book of Isaiah, in the Message version, wilderness and desert will sing joyously. The badlands will celebrate and flower like the crocus in spring bursting into blossom, a symphony of song and color. Mountain glories of Lebanon, a gift. Awesome Carmel, stunning Sharon, gifts. God's resplendent glory fully on display. God awesome, God majestic, energize the limp hands, strengthen the rubbery knees, tell fearful souls, courage, take heart. God is here, right here, on his way to put things right and redress all wrongs. He's on his way He'll save you. Blind eyes will be opened, deaf ears unstopped. Lame men and women will leap like deer. The voiceless break into song. Springs of water will burst out in the wilderness. Streams flow in the desert. Hot sands will become a cool oasis. Thirsty ground, a splashing fountain. Even lowly jackals will have water to drink, and barren grasslands flourish richly. There will be a highway called the Holy Road. No one rude or rebellious is permitted on this road. It's for God's people exclusively. Impossible to get lost on this road. Not even fools can get lost on it. No lions on this road. No dangerous wild animals. Nothing and no one dangerous or threatening. Only the redeemed will walk on it. The people God has ransomed will come back on this road. They'll sing and as they make their way home to Zion, unfading halos of joy encircling their heads, welcomed home with gifts of joy and gladness as all sorrows and sighs scurry in the night. Chapter 36. In the 14th year of King Hezekiah, Sennacherib, king of Assyria, made war on all the fortress cities of Judah and took them. Then the king of Assyria sent his general, the Rabshakeh, accompanied by a huge army from Lachish to Jerusalem to King Hezekiah. The general stopped at the aqueduct where it empties into the upper pool on the road to the public laundry. Three men went out to meet him: Eliakim and Hilkiah in charge of the palace, Shebna the secretary, and Joah, son of Asaph, the official historian. The Rabshakeh said to them, "Tell Hezekiah that the great king, the king of Assyria, says this: What kind of backing do you think you have against me? You're bluffing, and I'm calling your bluff. Your words are no match for my weapons. What kind of backup do you have now that you've rebelled against me? Egypt, don't make me laugh. Egypt is a rubber crutch. Lean on Egypt and you'll end up flat on your face. That's all Pharaoh, king of Egypt, is to anyone who leans on him. And if you try to tell me we're leaning on our God, isn't it a bit late? Hasn't Hezekiah just gotten rid of all places of worship, telling you you've got to worship at this altar? Be reasonable, face the facts. My master, the king of Assyria, will give you 2,000 horses if you can put riders on them. You can't do it, can you? So how do you think, depending on flimsy Egypt's chariot and riders, you can stand up against even the lowest ranking captain in my master's army? Besides, do you think I came all this way to destroy this land without first getting God's blessing? It was your God who told me, make war on this land, destroy it. Eliakim, Shebna, and Joah answered the Rabshakeh, please talk to us in Aramaic. We understand Aramaic. Don't talk to us in Hebrew within earshot of all the people gathered around. But the Rabshakeh replied, do you think my master has sent me to give this message to your master and you, but not also to the people clustered here? It's their fate that's at stake. They're the ones who are going to end up eating their own excrement and drinking their own urine. Then the Rabshakeh stood up and called out loudly in Hebrew, the common language, listen to the message of the great king, the king of Assyria. Don't listen to Hezekiah's lies. He can't save you, and don't pay any attention to Hezekiah's pious sermons telling you to lean on God, telling you God will save us. Depend on it. God won't let this city fall to the king of Assyria. Don't listen to Hezekiah. Listen to the king of Assyria's offer. Make peace with me. Come and join me. Everyone will end up with a good life, with plenty of land and water, and eventually something far better. I'll turn you loose in wide open spaces with more than enough fertile and productive land for everyone. Don't let Hezekiah mislead you with his lies. God will save us. Has that ever happened? Has any God in history ever gotten the best of the king of Assyria? Look around you. Where are the gods of Hamath and Arpad, the gods of Sepharvaim? Did the gods do anything for Samaria? Name one God that has ever saved its countries from me. So, what makes you think that God could save Jerusalem from me? The three men were silent. They said nothing, for the king had already commanded, "Don't answer him." Then Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, the palace administrator, Shebna, the secretary, and Joah, son of Asaph, the court historian, tearing their clothes in defeat and despair, went back and reported what the Rabshakeh had said to Hezekiah. Chapter 37. When Hezekiah heard the report, he also tore his clothes and dressed in rough, penitential burlap, gunny sacks, and went into the sanctuary of God. He sent Eliakim, the palace administrator, Shebna, the secretary, and the senior priests, all of them also dressed in penitential burlap, to the prophet Isaiah, son of Amoz. They said to him, Hezekiah says, "This is a black day. We're in crisis. We're like pregnant women without even the strength to have a baby. Do you think your God heard what the Rabshakeh said, sent by his master, the king of Assyria, to mock the living God? And do you think your God will do anything about it? Pray for us, Isaiah. Pray for those of us left here holding the fort." Then King Hezekiah's servants came to Isaiah. Isaiah said, "Tell your master this, God's message. Don't be upset by what you've heard. All those words the servants of the Assyrian king have used to mock me, I personally will take care of him. I'll arrange it so that he'll get a rumor of bad news back home and rush home to take care of it. And he'll die there, killed a violent death." Then Rabshakeh left and found the king of Assyria fighting against Libnah. He had gotten word that the king had left Lachish. Just then the Assyrian king received an intelligence report on King Tirhakah, Ethiopia. He is on his way to make war on you. On hearing that, he sent messengers to Hezekiah the instructions to deliver this message: "Don't let your God, on whom you so naively lean, deceive you, promising that Jerusalem won't fall to the king of Assyria. Use your head. Look around at what the kings of Assyria have done all over the world, one country after another devastated. And do you think you're going to get off? Have any of the gods of any of these countries ever stepped in and saved them? Even one of these nations my predecessors destroyed: Gozan, Haran, Rezeph, and the people of Edom who lived in Telassar. Look around. Do you see anything left of the king of Hamath, the king of Arpad, the king of the city of Sepharvaim, and the king of Hena, and the king of Eva?" Hezekiah took the letter from the hands of the messengers and read it. Then he went into the sanctuary of God and spread the letter out before God. Then Hezekiah prayed to God: "God of the angel armies, enthroned over the cherubim angels, you are God, the only God there is, God of all kingdoms on earth. You made heaven and earth. Listen, O God, and hear, look, O God, and see. Mark all these words of Sennacherib, that he sent to mock the living God. It's quite true, O God, that the kings of Assyria have devastated all the nations and their lands. They've thrown their gods into the trash and burned them. No great achievement, since they were no gods anyway, gods made in workshops, carved from wood and chiseled from rock, and into the no gods. But now step in, O God, and O God, our God, save us from him. Let all the kingdoms of the earth know that you and you alone are God. Then Isaiah, son of Amos, sent this word to Hezekiah, God's message, the God of Israel, because you brought King Sennacherib of Assyria to me in prayer. Here is my answer, God's answer. She has no use for you, Sennacherib, nothing but contempt. This virgin daughter of Zion, she spits at you and turns her heel. This daughter of Jerusalem, who do you think you've been mocking and reveling all these years? Who do you think you've been jeering and treating with such utter contempt? All these years, the Holy One of Israel. You've used your servants to mock the Master. You've bragged with my fleet of chariots. I've gone to the highest mountain ranges, penetrated the far reaches of Lebanon, chopped down its giant cedars, its finest cypresses. I conquered its highest peak, explored its deepest forest. I dug wells and drank my fill. I emptied the famous rivers of Egypt with one kick of my foot. Haven't you gotten the news that I've been behind this all along? This is a long-standing plan of mine, and I'm just now making it happen, using you to devastate strong cities, turning them into piles of rubble and leaving their citizens helpless, bewildered, and confused, drooping like unwatered plants, stunted like withered seedlings. I know all about your pretentious poses, your self-important comings and goings, and yes, the tantrums you throw against me because of all your wild raging against me, your unbridled arrogance that I keep hearing of. I'll put my hook in your nose and my bit in your mouth. I'll show you who's boss. I'll turn you around and take you back to where you came from. And this, Hezekiah, will be your confirming sign. This year's crops will be slim pickings, and next year it won't be much better. But in 3 years, farming will be back to normal with regular sowing and reaping, planting and harvesting. What's left of the people of Judah will put down roots and make a new start. The people left in Jerusalem will get moving again. Mount Zion survivors will take hold again. The zeal of God of the angel armies will do all this. Finally, this is God's verdict of the king of Assyria. Don't worry. Don't worry, he won't enter this city, won't let loose a single arrow, won't brandish so much as one shield, let alone build a siege ramp against it. He'll go back the same way he came. He won't set foot on a city in the city. God's decree. I've got my hand on this city to save it for my very own sake, but also for the sake of my David dynasty. Then the angel of God arrived and struck the Assyrian camp. 185,000 Assyrians died. By the time the sun came up, they were all dead, an army of corpses. Sennacherib, king of Assyria, got out of there fast back home to Nineveh. As he was worshiping in the sanctuary of his god Nisroch, he was murdered by his sons Adramelech and Sharezer. They escaped to the land of Ararat. His son Esarhaddon became the next king. Chapter 38. At that time, Hezekiah got sick. He was about to die. The prophet Isaiah, son of Amos, visited him and said, God says, prepare your affairs and your family. This is it. You're going to die. You're not going to get well. Hezekiah turned away from Isaiah and facing the wall, he prayed to God, God, please, I beg you, remember how I've lived my life. I've lived faithfully in your presence, lived out of a heart that was totally yours. You've seen how I lived, the good that I've done And Hezekiah wept as he prayed painful tears. Then God told Isaiah, go and speak with Hezekiah. Give him this message from me. God, the God of your ancestor David, I've heard your prayer. I have seen your tears. Here's what I'll do. I'll add 15 years to your life and I'll save both you and this city from the king of Assyria. I have my hand on this city, and this is your confirming sign, confirming that I, God, will do exactly what I have promised. Watch for this as the sun goes down and the shadow lengthens on the sundial of Ahaz. I'm going to reverse the shadow 10 notches on the dial, and that's what happened. The declining sun's shadow reversed 10 notches on the dial. This is what Hezekiah, king of Judah, wrote after he'd been sick and then recovered from his sickness. In the very prime of life, I have to leave. Whatever time I have left is spent in death's waiting room. No more glimpses of God in the land of the living. No more meetings with my neighbors. No more rubbing shoulders with friends. This body I inhabit is taken down and packed away like a camper's tent. Like a weaver, I've rolled up the carpet of my life as God cuts me free of the loom and at day's end sweeps up the scraps and pieces. I cry for help until morning. Like a lion, God pummels and pounds me relentlessly, finishing me off. I squawk like a doomed hen, moan like a dove. My eyes ache from looking up for help. Master, I'm in trouble. Get me out of this, but what's the use? God himself gave me the word. He's done it to me. I can't sleep. I'm that upset, that troubled. Oh, Master, these are the conditions in which people live. And yes, in these very conditions, my spirit is still alive, fully recovered with a fresh infusion of life. It seems it was good for me to go through all those troubles. Throughout them, all you held tight to my lifeline. You never let me tumble over the edge into nothing, but my sins you let go of. Threw them over your shoulder. Good riddance. The dead don't thank you. And choirs don't sing praises from the morgue. Those buried 6 feet under don't witness to your faithful ways. It's the living, live men, live women who thank you, just as I'm doing right now. Parents give their children full reports on your faithful ways. God saves and will save me. As fiddles and mandolins strike up the tunes, we'll sing, oh, we'll sing, sing for the rest of our lives in the sanctuary of God. Isaiah had said, prepare a poultice of figs and put it on the boil so he may recover. Hezekiah had said, what is my cue that is all right to enter again the sanctuary of God? Chapter 39. We're going to, as a matter of fact, yes, let's get through that really quickly. Sometime later, King Merodach, Baladan, son of Baladan, the Babylon, sent messengers with greetings and a gift to Hezekiah. He had heard that Hezekiah had been sick and was now well. Hezekiah received the messengers warmly. He took them on a tour of his royal precincts, proudly showing them all his treasures, silver, gold, spices, expensive oils, all his weapons, everything out on display. There was nothing in his house or kingdom that Hezekiah didn't show them. Later, the prophet Isaiah showed up. He asked Hezekiah, what were these men up to? What did they say? And where did they come from? Hezekiah said, they came from a long way off from Babylon. And what did they see in your palace? Everything, said Hezekiah. I showed them the works, opened all the doors, and impressed them with it all. Then Isaiah said to Hezekiah, now listen to this message from God of the angel armies. I have to warn you, the time is coming when everything in this palace, along with everything your ancestors accumulated before you, will be hauled off to Babylon. God says that there will be nothing left, nothing, and not only your things, but your sons. Some of your sons will be taken into exile, ending up as eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. Hezekiah replied to Isaiah, good. If God says so, it's good. Within himself, he was thinking, but surely nothing bad will happen in my lifetime. I'll enjoy peace and stability as long as I live. Y'all, he was wrong. Anyways, we're going to stop right there, pick back up tomorrow. I love you with the love of God. I'll see you all.